And tonight we have our guest host, Unworshipedeity from YouTube. Unworshipedeity, I want to ask you a few basic questions, and I'm going to turn it over to everybody else here. What do you believe or don't believe?
Well, was formerly sort of a fanatical God believer, one of those crazy folks. Then, now I believe that there is no God that I can explain or rationalize.
Okay.
I'm kind of wishy-washy on calling myself a full atheist. I mean, sometimes I do, depending on the conversation. Sometimes I go agnostic, also depending on the grouping. I sort of fluctuate between those two monikers.
Well, agnosticism is just a subset of knowledge. So you can be agnostic about everything, or anything pretty much. How did you come to your non-belief, by the way?
I suppose I just sort of read books and just
That's
very
boring.
boring.
That's very
boring way.
that's very common.
I
It's
just
like
digested different information.
yeah, no, that's very common. It's like, how did you become an atheist? It's
I
like,
read the Bible.
I read the Bible. I read books, other books than the Bible, and the Bible.
I just marathon lots of the Four Horsemen on YouTube and tried to find ways to. I just found their arguments persuasive.
Yeah, there you go. How do you go about making your videos, by the way?
Oh, with the artsy ones?
Yeah, you make a variety of different videos. Yeah. I mean, I would look through your channel. I didn't see anything so much towards atheism, but I mean, you have a variety of different topics. There was one that you did recently. You did a movie review of what was it? The movie is like
Debbie Does Dallas.
That's the one that I was thinking of. The movie is like 30, 40, I don't know, 100 years old, whatever,
Like the 70s, it's like the 70s classic.
Yeah, it's
era.
almost 50 years old, and thank you for not showing any clips on there because YouTube would have said, no.
Yeah, that was like more of a satirical video. I was like, you know what, you never see people give reviews of porn.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that man.
They usually have their hands too busy doing other things. That's why.
Yeah.
You have a very interesting style. You add extra noises and visual flashes and things like that. I was watching one of them. I went into a rest.
Well, to me it makes sense. I'm trying to tell like a visual, audio visual story. And it makes sense in my head what I'm trying to say, but when people look at it, they take away different aspects. They come up with something else.
Isn't that the whole point of art? When you create something and everybody takes away something different from it?
Well, yeah, I mean it's easy just to say that, but then when you experience it, you're like, oh yeah, I guess it really is true.
Yeah.
That's not just a tagline people say.
That's true. That's true. How did you come up with a name for your channel or your username on YouTube there? The Unworshipedeity. How did you come to that name?
Well, I used to play a lot of first-person shooters. I mean, a buttload of them. I'd stay up at night playing against people, and I typed in the word unworship, like deity. I mean, unworship something, and it wasn't spelled correctly. And I tried it a bunch of times, and I just typed it in over and over and over again until I found the spelling that worked. And that's when I stuck to it, pretty much. I'm like, okay, no one spells it this way. I like the way it sounds. Unworshipedeity. I like the whole unworship sound and the whole deity part. It's like the dying of the self.
It's deity. Unworshipedeity. Okay. I've been pronounced a deity. My apologies.
Oh, no worries. I've ceased trying to correct people. So it's fine. It's fine.
If there's anything on the show, I try to be completely accurate unless I'm kidding, and then I'm completely inaccurate. So
yeah, it's really pretentious spelling. It's like the I, and then the I unworship deity is sort of like a play on words that's meant to say I no longer believe, yet I myself am a god. Kind of like a philosophical. It's like a philosophical standpoint, sort of.
Oh, okay.
That makes no sense except to people like me, I guess.
Okay, well, no, I get that. I hear that from Christians, like, you think of yourself as God. And it's like, sure, why not?
Well, no, I don't mean it like,
Yeah, like, you actually have done more things than God has actually done ever because, well, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. But now it's just a cool name. Like, even though the pretension has gone out of it.
Yeah, well, it's still an interesting name. Name. How did you get into making YouTube videos? What preceded you to say, hey, you know what? I want to put this together and I wanted to show it to the world?
Well, I saw like a lot of content that I wanted to respond to, but I was just too lazy to do it at the time. And then I became unemployed for a stint,
Yeah.
and I had plenty of time. So I was like, what's stopping me from making some YouTube videos? So I went out, bought the proper equipment,
Mm-hmm.
and I think my first couple of videos were the first 2 years I was out. They're like very sort of atheistic. Made a lot of atheist videos and a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the community. I know that's a bad word to say in the atheist community, but I found a lot of people I liked and gravitated towards. And
There you go.
Good.
I still call it a community, although we have our own nuts and crazies.
I think that's exactly what it is a community. That's atheism. Religion has churches. Atheism has YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The internet, where religion goes to die.
But I was always really nice to the religious people. I tried to befriend them. I was doing my best.
I try, but I can't say it's always a good experience because it's like, oh, you're an atheist. Oh, my God. Where's my cross? Ah! Die, heretic, die! It's like, okay. Have a nice day.
Yeah, well, I usually wouldn't run straight towards the fanatics because being a former fanatic myself, I was like, that's a pointless conversation.
Let me go
talk to this person instead.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is a pointless conversation. I've had lots of them.
Yep.
More than I care to think about. What's another YouTube channel out there that you really like, that you subscribe to, that you're fond of?
I think Atheist is like a new channel.
Atheist?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Atheist. It's
Oh,
been
I'll
out
look
for
him
about
up.
6 months, I think.
Really? Okay.
Because I got bored of watching all the atheist stuff. I don't know. The last atheist video I watched was like 2 or 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Like I'll watch videos that deal with like what are we going to do about Islam, or what religious person did whatever today. I watch some of those from time to time, but I like the atheist videos because he's talking about sort of like the Sam Harris, like what is spirituality without God. So he's talking about like a lot of, he's going towards like the evil evolutionary psychology route, which is kind of weird, but it's interesting because he's talking about a lot of philosophical issues and how can we press on.
Okay. I will definitely have to check them out. I've seen a variety of people in the atheist community. They have a tendency to, burn out. Because of the fact is that Christians, they keep regurgitating the same things over and over again. They say A. You say, no, that's not A, that's Z. And they say, well, no, it's A. And then you come up to somebody else, and after you've thoroughly trounced them, and then you come up to somebody else who's like, well, they say the same thing, and you're just like, can you guys not come up with better arguments? You're just like, you're totally get tired of it after a while. I mean, just like, ugh, I have to deal with another ass monkey here.
I don't know, like unless it's like some sort of political religious stance, it's all the argument between the religious and atheists is just very static. There's no different arguments. It's just
that's because they keep coming up with the same argument. I'd like to see some new arguments. I haven't seen any new arguments from the religious camps at all. I mean, I keep hearing the same ones over and over again. What do you do outside your YouTube persona? Do you have like a job? Do you hunt squirrels? What do you do?
Well, I'm currently trying to, I'm employed right now doing some like labor job or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm currently studying, I want to be like in IT, just do a job that I can sit on my ass all day, essentially. I'm just being straight,
I do that already, sort of.
Well, something, I wanted to do something in the field of tech, something kind of low rent and kind of out of the way, but yet, pays the bills. So that's what I'm studying right now.
Wait. A job that pays the bills. I'm going to write this down. Job that pays the bills.
Well, just like something that I could do kind of part-time, and then after I get that all settled, I want to do another kind of YouTube channel, one I can profit from, do something a little bit more streamlined.
Wait, YouTube profit. I got to write this down. YouTube profit. Okay. I gotta look into that. Apparently, I'm doing something wrong here.
Well, I'm looking to sell out a little bit.
Sell out. That's what it is. Sell out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gotta sell out a little bit, lay down some roots, get the family going, and white picket fence and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I need to sell out more, or I gotta write these things down, or I forget.
So that's kind of like what my plan is, more or less.
Okay. All right. I'm going to turn the questions over to the panel here. Connie, do you have any questions for Unworshipedeity? Sorry.
Sure.
I'll get it right.
What is your brand of Christianity prior to unbelief?
My brand of Christianity to what?
Prior to questioning, I guess.
Well, with my dad, it was sort of like hardcore Catholic school, and then because my dad and mom got a divorce, so when I was with my mom, it was sort of like a twitching in the aisles, Baptist kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Tongues and all.
I've seen those.
Yes. Familiar. Well, not with Catholics so much, but I was more Presbyterian myself.
I was involved with the Pentecostals. I saw a lot of the twitching.
Yeah, I remember my first encounter with twitching. It was really, really weird. Eventually, I embraced it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's enough about me. I was watching your videos, and are they all artsy? Because you have a lot. I just want to put this out there right now. Unworshipedeity has a lot of videos. Do you know how many videos you have?
Like 500 something.
In how
over 5 years?
Holy shit! Oh.
In how many years? I think it's like 4 or 5 years. This is. Yeah. You're very, very creative, and I, as an artist, commend you.
Thank you.
How many of those are like, because they sound like poetry to me, and I was trying to listen to them. I'm sorry that I didn't find your channel sooner, because you are so artistic and prolific. And how many of these deal with subject matter in an artistic way, because they're really beautiful, but they take time to digest, at least for me. That's an actual question. I'm sorry. How many are artistic? How many are poetry? Do you think?
It's like about half and half. Sometimes when I make one of them, I don't think I'm gonna put any like word, like any poems in it. I'm just gonna make it visual. Then when I finish it, I can see that there's something missing. Then I have to sort of scribble something down and see what happens. Usually, I have no plan until I start working on it. Like when I start working on it, then that's when it sort of everything starts to come. And then as soon as I stop, it's just like it cuts right off.
Really? It's like I won't. I was gonna describe it to a bodily function. I apologize. That's where my mind is.
You heathen, you! I'm
such a terrible person.
No,
I'm a horrible person.
I can plan out the layout, but if I like think to myself, you know what, this is going to be a poem about, I don't know, women's suffrage or something. Then I'll start to work on it, and then all of a sudden it turns into like a poem about loving the second girl that I lost or something like that. Just kind of changes up on me. And I just have to kind of go with the flow.
Okay, so you let it morph into wherever it decides to take you, kind of like wherever the water goes, as it were.
Yeah, like I've made like only like maybe like a handful of them like by request, because of with the rules to a contest, stuff like that. So if I want to sort of direct it, I can, but it takes a little bit more effort to do that.
Yeah,
and a few drafts.
Mm-hmm. I love that description. Actually, that was something. VHS from like third Pokemon movie that was created, and they were saying that that's the beauty of anime, is that it Western thinking is linear. You go A, B, C, but with anime, with most Eastern thinking, it unfolds like a flower. It opens like a flower, and I think that that's really beautiful about art and about artists who just try to take the art, what they were trying to say through their art, through this organic process. And I don't want to, I don't want to lose our audience or anything. I don't And that sounded really condescending. Never mind. Maybe I should just shut up.
Oh no, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, and I think that was really awesome because I was like, I need more time to digest your videos. Not all of them, obviously. I don't want to put people off on it, but I would like to encourage people who like to think about this thing and have it unfold, because I think that was really beautiful about your videos. I wasn't expecting that, actually. I was just thinking about this very linear discussion. And not to say that you're not, nobody could follow you, but it was really awesome how you blended that. Kudos to you. I'm applauding you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome sense.
So, I'm trying to think if I have another question, so maybe I should just pass it to Tom, and maybe I might have another one.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. No problem. I interrupt constantly anyway. I mean, it is my show and everything, so.
Gosh. I thought it was my show. Damn it.
Shh. You're not supposed to let everybody know that, Connie.
Puppets, pants, strings.
Tom, do you have any questions?
Well, I was going to make the comment that when you start producing your own content, you tend to wean off of other people's content. But I didn't realize you were doing it for 5 years. Apparently, you've been pretty prolific. I need to look more into it. But you said you want to sell out. How do you sell out doing atheism videos?
I'd like to know that too. If you figure that out, just let me know.
Oh no, I would obviously have to make a different channel, of course. I would keep my old channel up, but I'd just make I'll make videos about different things that aren't as I don't know, like not as controversial as of yet, stuff like that. It's like something more variety-ish. So,
do you want to do something that is commercially viable or something that you're passionate about?
I can. For me, it could be it could be both, because for me it's like all about the production. Like if I could make something commercially viable, it would be interesting and fun to see how I would do that, considering all my strange beliefs. How can I mute myself a little bit yet still get out this idea vaguely? I think it's fun. That would be fun for me to do.
And somebody forgot to turn off their phone.
That's not me.
Well, that's me. I'm sorry. Let me go take care of that.
Okay.
And I had another question that's popped out of my head.
Okay. Well, that's what best would play. It's better to have it pop out of your head than from another orifice.
Yeah.
There's products
took care
for
of that.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, do you spend a lot of time editing your videos? Do you spend a lot of time doing production? I mean, I'm fairly lazy. I do a video and I pop on a head and a tail and put it out with very little editing. Do you spend a lot of time editing and doing post-production on your videos?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it takes a long time sometimes.
What program do you use to edit your videos with, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
I use Sony Vegas.
Okay, I'm familiar with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sort of pre-program some things into Sony Vegas, but I haven't done that yet because I want to be more pure. I want it to be.
Just throw it on there and see what sticks.
Yeah. But I may have to start doing that for the more streamlined videos.
There you go.
And I also use Magic's Movie Maker 17. It's like a sound mixer.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Magic's. I'll have to remember to write that one down for the Windows platform.
Yeah. You should probably just get the real thing. It's like a knockoff.
Pretty
much. But it was cheap, so.
Yeah. I go with what I can afford. Free.
Yeah. It was the cheaper version.
Yeah, that is the cheaper version. If there was something that would pay me every time I use it, I'd go with that,
Yeah.
So I had one more question. Do you spend a lot of time interacting with your audience?
Sometimes. Every once in a while, there's like spurts where people would interact with me. Like there was a woman that shall remain nameless that had stalked me for a while.
Oh, yeah, the stalk word.
Yeah, she stalked me for a while. She would always just find me. She would find me. She was asking about these questions, and at first I thought it was pretty cool. And my friends were like, she's a stalker. I'm like, yeah, I have a stalker. This is awesome. They're like, no, it's not awesome. It's not awesome.
Yeah, I've been in that situation. I understand.
Yeah, then about the 6th month, I was like, you know what, guys? This isn't awesome. She's still talking to me. See?
So like, duh.
See what happens? Like,
I want your babies.
Be careful, that's how I got married.
Oh my god.
The stalking ones, yeah, the stalkers are just a little on the weird side.
Yeah. But yeah, I interact with the audience from time to time. If I tell them, like, you can call me up on Skype or we can chit-chat, and sometimes that works out.
Yeah. I get that. I have people sometimes that call my Skype and say, hey, do you want to talk? It's like, I'm kind of busy. Thanks for thinking of me. I've had people call. I was like, I don't even realize that they're even there, and I have just like stuff playing. And I'm like, because I don't have that area connected, so I can't even hear them. So I don't wear the headphones all the time, everybody.
Yeah, I usually keep in contact with the artsy people. Like, there's this Russian guy named Milan, and he has like this really weird voice, which is why I talk to him. He's like sometimes the only reason I think that you talk to me is because of my voice. I'm like, oh man, say that one more time, please. No, come on, Max. This is how I talk, Max. I was like, I know, it's so awesome.
That's
so
like
awesome, man.
that's like talking to someone from Canada, because they've got they say certain words. They boot. You know, he's like, please say it again.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cross pollination. But yeah, I haven't talked to my audience for a little while because I took a little break.
Yeah, I noticed that your channel kind of went, quiet for a while. There's like, it's like a sunspot on the sun. There's like, okay, the sun's like real quiet. It's like, boom, there you are. So.
yeah, it's just. YouTube is changing a little bit, so I had to just take a little vacation. Things are getting a little bit too dramatic for me. I was just like, oh man, I gotta take a sabbatical later, guys.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes you just have to get up and walk away and say, okay, everybody, I'm done for a little while, because the fact is this is just I'm getting too involved. I mean, I'm seeing YouTube in my dreams.
Yeah.
And it's none of the channels I want to watch.
It can be all-consuming.
It can be. It really can be. I think I equate that with any of the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, as well. They have a tendency to just suck you right in.
So on average, I've got like 50 conversations going on.
Yeah.
And it's you have to take a break. Otherwise, you're like constantly on your phone trying to respond to people. And
yeah, it just takes up too much time of your day. I'm glad you were able to get up and go, hey, fuck off, everybody. I'm leaving. See ya.
Well, yeah, I've been doing lots of research on how to, make another channel too. So that's been taking up a lot of time.
I know some
tutorials and reading information. And
I know some people that would be able to help you with that. Godless Geezer is one of them. He knows about this stuff. So.
Oh, groovy.
Yeah.
There's certain people that you get caught up with and go back and forth and
yeah,
it's very interesting and it's fun to do.
Yeah.
Drove my wife crazy. It's like, why are you arguing with these people?
Yeah.
It's like, because it's interesting. It's fun to do that, but
yeah, it
does. You get sucked into it and you're like, okay, respond back, so I can get my.
Right. Well, we're kind of hopefully we get questions for our guest here on Unworshipedeity.
Well,
that's fine.
It's something that he mentioned, and I don't know how much you want to go into it. Do you have or had some strange beliefs? Do you want to expound on that? If you don't, it's fine.
Oh no, when it comes to like the political stuff, like feminism, okay, or I don't know, stuff like that. Just
sure.
Very combustible topics. Basically.
Yeah, feminism.
Yeah, very divisive topics these days.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate because instead of it being a discussion, it winds up winding up with bannings and divisive, getting out the axe and just cutting things off thing.
Yeah.
For myself, those topics are still really confusing. I mean, I grew up as a Christian, and I grew up and basically moved into fundamentalism, and so, yeah, example, things like women's rights, they were dictated to me, and so I find myself re-examining them, things like abortion and different sexualities and things like that, and saying,
wait a minute,
well,
people have sex? Wait a minute, I gotta write this down.
What?
People have sex.
Okay, sorry. Get out the fuzzy pink pencil.
Yeah, I gotta get my. I used to actually have a really long pencil. And I used to. I was there. All right.
Pat.
All right. I'm gonna go a little.
See, there it goes. That's judgmental, wasn't it?
Yeah. See, no. I just no. I was. See, Connie says something. I go way off the rails. I'll tell that story later. It's not about the show. This segment's not about me. It's about our guest.
Oh my God. But anyway, it's funny because I find myself still really fluid about certain things, and I'm more interested in human equality than I am about any gender or any race or anything like that. But I also understand that there's a lot of hurdles we have to jump over to get to the place where we can just realize that, hey, it doesn't matter whether you're born with a vagina or a penis, or even what color skin you have. It seems like there's a lot more that we have to get over, and let alone our own human predilection. I'm sorry, this is an interview. It's not it's not me preaching. So
welcome to Connie's preaching session.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
I
apologize. I will just shut up right now.
Oh no, I get what you're saying. It's all good. Like for the strange ideas, I'll still hold on to some woo here and there because it just makes me feel better about myself.
I think we all do to some degree because of the fact that we're human,
Yeah. Like there's like the karma stuff. Really like karma.
I don't like karma. I don't like the idea of karma because I'll put a fine point on this because people think of karma as just it only rewards the good. It doesn't, or it just rewards the bad. But if in that instance, if you take it to the logical extension, let's say some 3-year-old girl got raped and murdered, and what did she do to deserve that? Because if everybody gets what they deserve, what did she do to deserve that?
Yeah, that's why you got a past life.
Yeah,
something in her past life she must have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karma is basically a rebalancing of the universe.
I have some superficial kind of no woo that I hold on to. I don't hold on to the whole shebang.
No, that's the karma
I get
thing.
what you're saying, though.
Yeah, the whole karma thing. People say that. I see that post. I was like, karma's a bitch. Like, yeah, no.
We would like to think that karma exists.
I wouldn't.
Just because we would like for people who do bad things to pay for them. I'm done.
Yeah, no,
it's a nice idea when somebody does something bad. You want to think they're going to get their comeuppance.
You'd like to think that, yeah, but
you would. But that's what heaven and hell are predicated on, though, too.
Exactly.
The idea that you, or even what's the thing that Catholics believe, Tom? Between heaven and hell,
limbo.
Sorry. Limbo? Thank you. Yeah.
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 That purgatory.
Thank you. That in between thing.
I think they've canceled limbo. I think they, I hope if heaven exists, I hope they, I'm going to go George Carlin here. I hope they, promoted him and didn't just let him off free and floating off in space.
Yeah, because one of the two got they decided they didn't have it anymore because it was like, babies that weren't baptized and died, they went to limbo.
Yeah.
So people didn't like the idea of it, so they got rid of it.
Yeah. Nice of isn't that fun about religion? That you don't like something? We just get rid of it.
Once we start thinking about it long enough, we realize that this isn't really a good idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I wish they had just started as like, hey, if we get people to believe this crap, that's a bad idea. Let's just stop there.
Yeah, but for me, most like some of that stuff is kind of locked in. That and I've gone one too many times to Burning Man, so
Yeah.
gotta
How
you know.
you've been to Burning
Have
Man?
some strange beliefs. They're like in there.
Wait a minute,
but I'm
you've
aware
been
of them.
wait a
at
minute,
least.
you've been to Burning Man?
Yeah. Maybe
Oh,
7
I would.
times.
I've heard stories about people
Really?
going to Burning Man.
my
I have
God.
never been to Burning Man. I would love to go. Unfortunately, I don't have the gas to drive out of my driveway. So
Yeah. Just do it before you die. So that's all I have to tell people. Just if it takes you like 2 or 3 years to save, just go right if you're going to go at all. Pretty much.
well, I've heard that you have to take like I don't know your house pretty much with you, and the plumbing, of course, because there is literally nothing there. I mean, it's like you have to either barter or trade or die.
Well, it's an experience. I mean, there are groups that you can go with. That basically they go on like 2 buses and it's like a shared communal kind of thing. And some people bring porta potties. Like everyone has a thing that they bring. You can hook up with some of those folks. Like if you really want to go, you can find a community that will.
How
help you
much? How much did it cost you to go out there? Just if you don't mind me asking.
out.
I've heard the range between $5,000 and $10,000 just to go out to this to do this thing.
Well, like 500.
$500? That's
Yeah.
that's not so bad.
I don't know
buy
if I
the
want to go to
tickets
an
the
event
first or
where
the
you have to
second
bring your
day,
own porta
and then-
potty.
You buy like $100 of food essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and then camping equipment and all that kind of stuff, and then you're pretty set.
Okay. And it is the desert after all, so
Yeah.
there's that whole freezing at night and scorpions in your trousers when you wake up.
Quite possibly. It's pretty wild out there. That's what I gotta say.
All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions for our guest, Unworshipedeity, can you stick around for the rest of the show with us?
Yeah.
All right. Before we get going, though, where can they find your channel?
Well, it's Unworshipedeity. Right, like on the screen, my screen name right there. You just type that in, and
Okay. For the
you're
people
good
who
to
are
go.
for the people who are listening to this in audio
Oh.
archive, it's Unworshipedeity, if I've spelled that correctly.
yeah.
So yeah. So if you want to go and check out his channel, please do so. Did you like this segment of Packard Pokes At? If you did, please click here on the video to see more from this show. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the show. You can find our second podcast, The Atheist, the Bible, and No Wardrobe, on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Be sure to check those out.